time for a more lighthearted segment, a miscellaneous what the fuck. So Nathan, what's a miscellaneous what the fuck?
Well, Michael, we do our segments on asshats, and we do segments on Dershowitz bags, because we like to call out people for being asses, and we like to call out people for making stupid arguments. Mm-hmm. But sometimes a story comes our way that just doesn't really fit the mold, but is still hilarious enough that we just need to talk about it. We just need to point at it and laugh at it and share it with our listeners.
Great, man. Okay, so who's not an asshole and not making a bad argument, and what could they possibly have done to miscellaneously what the fuck?
Well, I do just want to be clear that sometimes a miscellaneous what the fuck is
both an asshat,
both an
and
asshole,
and,
yeah, both an asshole and someone who makes a stupid argument.
Fair enough.
So Michael, you know how it is when you're talking to somebody and they just casually bring up genocide and you just unattentively agree with them?
Well, that's not an experience I've had, Nathan. But if you've had that experience, I don't want to make you feel bad.
I mean, it's not a regular occurrence.
I should hope not. Wait, so, what the
fuck? Yeah, exactly. So, there was a guest host named Matthew Alvarez on the Right Side Broadcast Network, which, by the way, for a right-wing network, that's a good name. Mm-hmm. Right Side Broadcast Network, that's
pretty good.
Yeah,
that's a nice pun.
Like solid job, folks. So he was at a Trump rally and he was interviewing some Trump supporters, and he was talking to one of them, and the Trump supporter said, "I'm here to guarantee Trump gets back in and gets the corruption out of the White House. It's a disgrace. Joe Biden is a disgrace to the country." And Alvarez added, "He's a disgrace. So are the left and the rhinos and the globalists." And in response, the man shouted, "They can kill them all. Kill them all." Which Alvarez responded by saying, "I agree with you on that."
Now, Nathan, when someone shouts at you, do you generally hear what they're saying?
I mean, it depends. Because, okay, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. We can hear it clearly because the guy's speaking into the microphone.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if Alvarez has an earpiece in his head, so maybe he didn't hear it. Okay. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he didn't hear it, and if it were just a case of he didn't hear it and he came out and said, "Hey, look, I agreed to that. And I just want to be clear. I'm sorry. I didn't hear him. It was a stupid thing to say. I apologize for that. I'm anti-genocide." And that, if he had just done that, and that was it, we wouldn't even be talking about this.
Something tells me that wasn't it.
No, it wasn't. Because look, so he did come back after he realized that Twitter had kind of gone, had blown up, saying, "Dude, did you just advocate for genocide? You might want to fucking clarify that." He did come out and clarify it, and he said, "Now there's something trending on Twitter right now. Outside, we were interviewing a number of people who were talking about how great this country is. Typically how there are people in it that need to be genocided. How great the president is, and I heard something else that was spoken. It is not something I agree with. Obviously, if there is something that happened where someone was speaking out there, I didn't hear those words spoken. And if that's where he left it, that would have been fine." But then one of his co-hosts, a guy named Brian Glenn, came in to try to speak for him, and he said, quote, "This is what many on the left do. They'll take a clip of that and they'll run with it, and all of a sudden, the statement is that you want to kill everybody or whatever. We all know that's not what you meant to get across." And then
this is leftist propaganda because they took what I said in context and then asked me if I meant it. Those leftist radicals.
And that's the thing here. If they had just left it at, "I didn't hear it, I apologize, I don't believe that," that would have been fine. But then they basically used it as an excuse to attack the left, because the left heard a dude advocating for genocide, heard a dude agree with the dude advocating for genocide, and quite reasonably were like, "Dude, the fuck? Like, they're pretending like it's part of some leftist conspiracy to like put words in his mouth. They didn't put words in your mouth. You said the words, and we needed some clarification. Don't pretend this is some leftist conspiracy or some media conspiracy. You said it.
You said it. Yeah.
Take some responsibility. Take some personal responsibility for what you said. Like, and that right there is why we're talking about this. Just the fact that his co-host and him after this just tried to use the desire to clarify a position on genocide as an excuse to attack the left, which just shows how fundamentally dishonest these people are. You know, if you're like, I would be giving you the benefit of the doubt if it were just a case of like, I misheard him. You know, or maybe you were zoning out for a second. You know, sometimes people zone out when they're talking, and you agree with something. Like I've been in a situation where I didn't agree with genocide, but you know, someone was talking to me, and you know, they stopped talking. And I was like, yeah, I know what you mean, and I totally didn't know what they meant.
Yeah,
like that's happened. That happens to a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. But like, if that were to happen and someone were like, dude, I just advocated for genocide, I'd immediately be like, oh, wait, no, never mind. No, did not mean to say that. I'm an idiot.
Bad.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
And anybody who heard me say that deserves an explanation, and they're not unreasonable for asking for an explanation.
You're projecting. So congratulations to whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Matthew Alvarez.
This week's miscellaneous What the Fuck.